last time our heroes had been in their escape on the, we'll politely say, borrowed spaceship, the Class C modular transport ship that they now find themselves on, trying to escape where they were pursued by mercenaries, had a bit of a lucky break after a bit of lucky turbo laser fire from people who weren't particularly skilled at it, but pulled it off nonetheless. However, in the scuffle, it turns out that the Trandoshan scientist that was with them carrying a armored briefcase, the case was damaged in the process, in which there were evidently the spores of a Drengir specimen, which took over the host body of the Trandoshan before they had a chance to do anything about it, and the heroes are now in the cargo bay trying to deal with this new threat while the, we'll just be polite and say pilot slash ship mechanic is in the cockpit trying to get them back into hyperspace ready capability, even though the ship is sounding like it's not wanting to agree with that.
So we're just going straight into initiative order?
We're close. We might be starting this one off. But Xena, Halem, and Vesper, after dropping out of hyperspace, the entire ship shuddering, and the small Trandoshan, who is currently covered over in those creeping, thorny, plant-like vines, the Drengir growth quickly taking over and repurposing all of the organic material around, was flung away, injured, but stood back up. The attempt to remove the head from the body via lightsaber surgery was not enough to stop this thing. There is nothing short of total annihilation or spacing that will do much to get you out of this situation. But yeah, I guess we are straight into the action with this one. Initiative in Savage Worlds is a little different than a lot of people may be familiar with, especially coming from the D&D Pathfinder type crowd, where you typically have some sort of initiative modifier and a D20 roll. Initiative in Savage Worlds is done using a standard deck of playing cards, jokers included. And characters pull one card, and whoever has the highest card has the choice of going first. In the event of a tie, the initiative order is determined by spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts. And some abilities let you draw multiple cards. There's some really cool abilities that let you draw a bunch of extra cards at the beginning of a combat encounter and hand them out to whoever you want, including the bad guys if you want to make them go last. But yeah, basically, in Savage Worlds, initiative is literally down to the luck of the draw. With the Nine of Spades, Xena, what do you do?
It's chasing us? Is that what's happening?
It's getting back up. It got thrown into some cargo containers, a little bit covered, and it kind of pulled itself out of the pile. And, well, you, how much experience you've had with the Drengir is not a matter of public knowledge, but you do know one thing, and that is their sole concern in life is meat. They do have a fondness for Force sensitives as well.
Well, it was fun knowing all of you guys. What do I want to do? Try to see if any of my, like, special things would do anything. Because I don't know if the lightsaber is the right call here.
Creative application of toolbox is greater than utilizing a move on the heat in this game.
So, like, Drengir, they're, like, sentient, right?
Yes.
So, like, if I, like, cast an illusion or, like, something like that would work on them.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Okay. What I want to do is cast an illusion to distract the Drengir so we can then maybe lock it into the cargo bay while we figure out a way, or at least distract them to get away.
Okay.
I want to cast an illusion of just a bunch of porks. Just a bunch of porks.
Amazing.
I love it because I hate porks.
You said meat and I said porks, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I believe there is a force roll with that.
Yeah. There is.
My headcanon is now that when Ben was distracting the stormtroopers on the Death Star, that he was just making them see porgs.
It's canon now, and unless George Lucas himself speaks up, that's what it was.
Clearly.
Yes. Okay. Oh, it made a noise.
Nice. All right, and with that exploding wild die, you get a 7, which is enough to activate the ability as the Drengir, which sentient, though not necessarily too terribly intelligent, especially since the hive mind definitely, they kind of get a little bit smarter when more of them can join together. It is very focused on to what Halem, well, everybody but Xena, so Halem, Vesper, and Gleebek just see it start looking around, looking like it's getting ready to swat at air, as far as you can tell. But it's not.
We can all kind of feel that a force thing happened,
Yes.
but we don't know what it was.
Tell.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't get to see the pores.
Cool. So they're there. Hopefully it'll distract them.
Right. And then moving is a free action, so you could move out of the cargo bay and talk to your teammates as well at the same time.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I guess like while I'm doing this, I'll like kind of like nudge all of them and be like, let's get out here. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm big ready to kill it.
We need a plan other than just killing it. Lightsabers ain't gonna cut it.
No, lightsabers are totally gonna cut it. They're just gonna end up with more of them.
And you should be
You
able to
take
try
things
to,
literally. You take things literally. You take things literally. Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna like move my like person like near the door because I'm like kind of
Okay.
like, hey, y'all, what are y'all doing?
And then with
I did my job.
next up, we have Vesper with the 8 of diamonds.
Yeah, I think that Vesper just immediately ignites. Well, his Saber is already ignited actually at this point, and he's just going to charge in and fight this thing.
Okay.
How good of a move that is remains yet to be seen, but I feel like that's characteristic for who he is.
Stab
Because
first,
of
ask
maintenance.
questions later.
Yep.
Oh, good. That's
Wow.
that's 2 1s. Fantastic. I'm going to spend a Benny because I am not a fan of that at all.
Yeah.
That's
Stop
much better.
playing.
That's better. Roll damage with a raise.
That's a
Wow.
27.
Wow. Okay. That's 3 wounds. And then some, in all reality, but it backs out at 3. Yeah, you charge forward in its disoriented state as it's swiping at imaginary porgs. There's one good overhand chop with your blade. It just cleaves the thing in 2.
So it's not a wild
Which
card?
has mixed results. On one hand, it's not a threat to you right now. But on the other hand, it doesn't seem to be dead. You seem to have just cut it into 2 smaller pieces, which are in the process of trying to orient themselves.
Got it. Okay, heard. I'm going to yell back to Gleebek. We might have actually covered this last session. I can't remember. Did we ever decide if we have any kind of airlock that we can Ripley this thing?
You have,
We're in the cargo bay, so like there's got to be a way to open the cargo bay.
yeah,
Like-
so there are basically a handful of ways you could eject this thing into space. There on the left side is the main entry onto the ship. There is an escape pod just beneath you in the cargo bay, so
Oh, I
you
see.
could put him in the
Yeah,
escape pod, kick him out the door, and make it.
Is that
somebody
the
else's
only
problem.
escape pod that we have though?
Yes, yes, it is. Hopefully, you'd never need another one. The other option is that there are the cargo bay doors, but those are designed to completely open and expose the entire cargo bay, for better or worse. So it's more a matter of where you guys at the moment. The other option is being a modular transport. It has side cells which are basically designed to be able to be swapped out for whatever they need. Do you need cargo? Do you need a passenger? Do you need something? So over in the passenger quarters med bay as well as the cargo bay area, those are both modular pieces that basically can be sealed off from the rest of the ship and just detached. Technically the ship itself is basically the cockpit, a long hallway, and then the engines. Those are the only
Every other ship.
permanent parts of the ship. So it's basically a matter of getting it where you want it or trapping it where you want it, and then opening a door or ejecting part of the ship out. But you've bought yourself a moment at least. It's going to take it at least a little while before it's back in fighting shape.
I feel like Gleebek is the one that just explained this to everybody. Like somebody goes, where's the doors? Where's the exit?
And
like, you guys rushed up.
it becomes the airplane safety videos. You will notice 2 exits on either side.
I have an idea. I don't know if it's a stupid idea or not.
All ideas are good ideas to
All
Gleebek.
Do you have any alcohol on this ship? What do you say it? How do you say it in Star Wars?
How do you say it in Star Wars?
That's a valid question.
It
I
is.
feel
It
like.
really is. It's just a funny way to say it.
Boozahol. Let's use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you carry any booze on this ship?
I don't. Well, there's the stuff that Johnny makes that I use to degrease the engines, and it works pretty good. But if you breathe it in really deep, then you get this.
Okay, great.
But it catches fire really well.
That's all we need to know.
That was my only question. So, could
The
you
last
show me
time I
where it
tried
is?
that, I couldn't use water to put it out because it would float and then stay on fire, and then it would move around while I was maneuvering and stuff. Johnny got really mad.
Cool story. Anything valuable in this cargo bay?
Everything?
More valuable than your life?
Well, I mean, if I
Why are you
make Johnny
thinking
mad
about
enough, then.
All right, because
But this can't
Yeah.
possibly be like the time I accidentally cut a hole in the exterior wall.
Halem, it is your turn though.
okay, again, we're gonna come back to that story later.
You don't have to.
Are any of the cargo boxes open?
There's probably a few of the smaller ones that got knocked open in the crash. Yeah. I would like to actually introduce a mechanic to you all. An alternative use of bennies is to allow the players to take control of a small piece of the narrative. Such as a player could spend a benny to say that one of the containers in this cargo bay happens to be open. Or a player could alternatively spend a benny to say something like Jana the Hutt left her bottle of Hutt whiskey sitting in the cargo bay. Basically, you can do a small scene alteration. You don't countercanon, you add to the scene, you change the scene, and create an opportunity that the heroes can utilize. Those
You can spend a Benny to generate an asset for
Deus Ex Machina.
problem resolution. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
The thing that separates heroes from normal people is essentially luck, and that's what
I'm
Benny's
never
are.
going to use these for rerolls ever. I'm just going to use these to make Sea Cow's life hilarious.
Oh, good.
I can't wait to yes and this. It's going to be so much fun.
Suspense.
Whatever this plan is, I
Created-
can't wait to jump on board this. Make it
You've
even
created
crazier.
a
All
monster,
right.
Sea
Awesome.
Cow.
Yes, you have. So I'm gonna spin a Benny. Out of one of the broken boxes falls a wrist-mounted flamethrower. It conveniently rolled to my feet, so I'm going to pick it up and use it on said Drengir.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly. I don't know if I even can jump out of the way.
I will tell the Jedi to move and to yell at G-Man, whose name I can't remember, finger lightning.
I'm going to say to pick it up and then use it, you will take the multi-action penalty, so that will be a -2 on your roll. But you can still do so, and fortunately, when it comes to things like flamethrowers, which are area of effect weapons, taking a penalty doesn't make too much of a problem for you. It just increases the likelihood that you might miss and hit your companion who is right next to it, but you don't like the Jedi anyway, so it's a win-win for you.
That doesn't mean I want to kill him.
Silver hair, lack of eyebrows. It's like it is a razor thin line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Which
that shooting roll with a -2 multi-action penalty.
Okay, all right. I can do this. -2.
Drengir is damn near helpless.
Okay.
Good job.
All right, we got this. I didn't see it. What happened? I got a 5.
Yep. Which is still enough.
Okay.
Drengir, having been cut in half while being distracted by illusory porgs, is just sitting there trying to reknit itself back into a shape capable of movement. When you open up with a wrist, you don't know why there is a wrist-mounted Mandalorian flamethrower. You do notice that the box it fell out of is actually marked food supplies. What's a little bit of Mandalore contraband? I'm sure that will in no way come back to haunt anybody. But you unload a stream of fire onto the Drengir. That gets a bit more of a reaction out of it. It is thrashing and squirming and attempting to make some sort of vocalization that you imagine is its version of a scream of pain, but nothing about it currently has intact vocal cords to really make those noises with, so it's a very squishy whimper. And are you just going
Weird
to keep going
screechy
with the
sound that
flamethrower?
tentacles make in movies.
Yes, I'm going to keep going, and I'm still yelling at G-Man, finger lightning.
Okay. G-Man, it is your turn.
All right, and so if I'm going to narrate this, and then you tell me how many bennies I need to spend at the end.
Unlimited power.
It's your living space.
So, Gleebek is going to run over to the box that the Mandalorian gauntlet fell out of and just dump it out. And so it says foodstuffs on the side. And so it is just like a crap ton of spoiled potatoes and a lot of contraband. And so now there are old, rotten, smelly potatoes that are rolling into the fire. And so now all of this now smells like, you know, a 3 days after having never been cleaned McDonald's. I broke sea cow. But so now we have an empty box, and I'm gonna set it down and say,
Okay, keep it right there. I'm gonna get some angry Play-Doh and the dustpan.
And a
And
what?
and so Gleebek is gonna dash down to maintenance because I get my one move, where he is going to grab his box of angry Play-Doh and a dustpan and broom. And
That'd
we are
be
going to.
one action as well, so you're up to 2 actions. You've got 2 left.
Oh, so I could come back.
Yeah, it just depends on how many multi-action penalties you
I
take.
thought it was you could do up to 3.
Yeah, he has 2 left.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I may have said that wrong. I don't know, but yeah, you
Oh,
3
whatever.
actions, and then your first move is a free action.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And so then the plan is we are going to sweep up the bits of the Drengir and put them in the box. And then with some angry Play-Doh, and then we'll seal the box.
Now, just for the audience's sake, and definitely not mine, would you please explain what angry Play-Doh is?
Angry Play-Doh is narrative for moldable explosive.
That's what I assume. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally knew that, but now the audience does as well, yes.
Also serious putty, because silly putty implies the existence of serious putty. And so...
So with those actions, you could, now this box is bigger than you, a squib, can really handle on your own. You can push it
I'm not
down,
gonna-
and a lot of it falls out.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not going to be able to do all of this on my own. But like I'm
Yeah.
just like explaining the plan as Gleebek
Yep.
like dumps out a bunch of rotten potatoes and like
All right, keep it right here. I'm gonna get the angry Play-Doh.
because everybody absolutely understands what that means as the tiny thing runs out of the room and then comes back with like
Yeah, I feel like
this
anybody
much
that's-
of something.
I think anybody that's known Gleebek for more than 5 minutes understands angry Play-Doh is probably going to mean a certain thing that you just explained. But yeah, you dash down into maintenance. Fortunately, there's no door actually between the cargo bay and maintenance. Grab your angry Play-Doh, which really just means grabbing an entire bag as tools go flying, as you're then just kind of sifting through the bag, letting everything drop with a brick of angry Play-Doh as you run back in. And because of Halem's efforts, the Drengir is currently not moving. You know they can regenerate from very small amounts. So you're basically keeping it down, more or less, at the moment. But Gleebek having explained his plan, and yeah, you, I guess, waiting there with your angry Play-Doh for somebody else to put it in the box?
Okay, so we only need about this much. Okay? Just like this much.
Why don't?
And he's holding like this the upright broom and dustpan.
What does that do?
What?
What does that do? What does this much do?
Well, if you use that much on a door, then usually the door kind of folds up a little bit, like it's made out of paper, and then travels really far. If you use it on like a tank, then you get like a crater. If you use it on a wall, you get a whole bunch of pieces and you gotta run really fast because the rubble's gonna come down like really, really fast. Well, in this particular case, we're gonna put it inside the box with all the stuff, and then we're gonna finger lightning it and push it out the door so that we don't die. That's my thought anyway. You guys can. Do you guys do the yellow finger lightning or the purple finger lightning?
There are two kinds?
It comes in flavors, evidently. Finger lightning and diet finger lightning, I guess.
I thought it just came in. Well, no, wait, that makes 3. I thought it just came in green. It's a story for another day.
I'm so lost.
It sounds like a good plan to me. Don't worry
The
about it, Jedi. You'll
Drengir-
catch up eventually.
Chopped into 2 bits and on fire, is attempting to squirm and writhe its way, trying to take advantage of the stash of boxes to get into cover. Which it does, getting... It's still subject to using a flamethrower, it just has some cover and might be able to put itself out finally. But that is its entire turn, and Halem, with the 10 of hearts, you're up next.
Yeah, okay. All right. So is force pulling and placing into a box one action or 2?
That would be one action, to basically use your telekinesis and just kind of throw them into the box.
Yes.
Okay. I think you might need to do it twice if you wanted to get both pieces of the Drengir, since it's now
Okay.
technically 2 smaller creatures, but...
Good going.
Why is everything my fault?
Because you're,
You're the one
only
that
Jedi
cut it.
here.
You're the one that cut it in 2. All right. So, who's next on the cards?
Vesper's after you.
Okay. I yell at the Jedi because I can't let him know I know his name.
It's a hostile work environment.
We're not coworkers. I'm gonna pull one half. You pull the other half. We put it in the box.
Got it.
All right. So I'm going to pull. That's gonna be my action. That's gonna be faith. Correct.
Yep.
All right. No multi-action penalty. No. All right. Let's roll.
Good
Survey
enough.
says. I
Yep.
got a 6. All right. Cool.
Yep, with a 6, that is enough to get a success as you grab one piece of the smoldering, not quite full-on burning Drengir and throw it into the container that still has a few of the old potatoes and Mandalorian contraband inside of it. And
Jonah's gonna be so mad.
Yeah. Well, she'd be madder if she was dead.
So it's in the box now.
half of it's in the box.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
Some
try.
Jedi cut it in half, so there's another entire half of it that's still outside of it.
Good job.
Poor Jedi.
So here's the thing.
You don't have force pull.
It's not one of my strong suits for a character reason. And so
What do they teach you?
This is gonna be better if it doesn't go well. It's okay. This is gonna be funny.
Not going well is the best outcome possible for story purposes. It's terrible for the character.
and it's a giant on fire plant, correct?
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
It's a cannibalistic on fire plant, which
Yeah.
sounds like the last thing I would ever want to pick up with my bare hands. So,
What's about the dustpan? Don't we have one of those?
do we have a dustpan?
I brought it from the maintenance room.
Am I gonna spend a penny to get a dustpan? Are we even
No,
playing the game anymore?
G-Man has a dustpan. G-Man has a dustpan.
All right.
In the broom.
Red Hood has a brain cell. Thank the
Seek out.
Force.
Seek out, please tell me, in your infinite GM wisdom, what die I have to roll to successfully sweep up this cannibal on fire plant.
Two chopstick.
I'm gonna call that a fighting roll.
Oh, that's fair. I'll take it.
Yeah, that was fighting.
I'll
I
take it.
accept.
Just-
I accept.
Just make it stop.
Yeah.
8. That's a
Eight.
success with a
That's-
raise.
With a raise, even. Yeah, as you grab the broom from Gleebek and just swat it as the other piece of it goes tumbling into the box. And because you got a raise on that, I'm going to say style points. Tell me what cool thing happens as a result.
So are these things? Are they force sensitive, or do they just like to
Yes.
eat force users?
They're force attuned. Dark side specifically.
Okay. We're jumping in the airlock, right?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah. As I
We
scoop
gotta go
It's
down a
box
level first.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, I think as I scoop it up, anyone watching would notice that I'm kind of like focusing almost as if I'm channeling the force in some way, but not in like a way that Jedi normally use it, and trying to basically keep this thing from being able to lash back out at me while I'm trapping it in this box.
Xena. There are now 2 pieces of a former Trandoshan, now Drengir, slightly on fire, in a box with a squib holding plastic explosives. It's been an exciting day at least, but it's your turn. What do you do?
I would like to shut the box.
This much.
Put that box in another box, and I'll mail that box to myself. When it gets here, I'll smash it with
Push it with a hammer! Oh, do we not have the explosives in it yet? Or I thought it was already in
Nope.
there.
Not
Oh,
yet.
okay, I don't want to shut the box yet.
He's just holding
Wait
this like
until
brick
after
of like
Gleebek
what looks
let
like
Gleebek
clay.
take his turn and then close it after he throws the explosives in there.
No, you can do it just this much.
Well, I don't trust myself with that. After you.
I mean,
That's fine. We can swap. We can. I just want to close the box.
Okay.
Alright,
you'll wait until after Gleebek.
And so Gleebek pinches off a knuckle, drops it in there, finger lightning, and very quickly closes the box.
Give me a demolitions check.
All right.
with the lightning.
No,
Functionally.
with the explosives
Oh,
first.
the explosives. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a multi-action penalty as well, so you are at -2 for everything.
That's okay.
alright, so we're only gonna have a couple minutes after I close this before there's not enough oxygen for it to actually explode, except it's gonna start making its own oxygen because it's gonna get hot enough. So we gotta get it down to the level where we can push it out, where we don't also have to go outside with it.
Less
because
talking, more doing.
So give me that demolitions roll to start with, -2 for multi-action.
Oh
Damn.
no. You want to spend a penny and try and redo it?
That's what they're for.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You can keep spending as many as you have, technically.
I've only got one
Or
left.
you could just accept the consequences. I haven't said what the consequences are yet. Maybe they're
I'm
not
ready
that
to
bad.
accept consequences. I don't know where you guys are. I'll burn my last penny if you guys are worried about it.
Well, there's always Xena right behind you to close the box. But wait, which action is this for?
Well, but she's got to recut the hole in the floor so we can get it down a level.
Well, his actions are doing the explosives and the force lightning, and then Xena's going to close the box.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
how fun would it be if things just went according to plan?
I've got one more. I'll burn it. Like,
It's up to you.
Xena, since you're the one that is going to have to face the consequences of my actions, I'm going to let you, like, how you feeling?
We can let's just go for it.
All right, one more time.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah,
For the-
you won't see that
For the
Gleebek
plot.
grabs a wad of the angry Play-Doh and throws it in. He said this much, but you're pretty sure he grabbed that much.
Yeah, there was a little extra.
Yeah.
He has small
didn't
hands,
seem-
so
didn't
measuring
notice,
is
though.
kind of.
Give me that force roll for your lightning now.
Oh dear God.
That is also with the -2 multi-action penalty.
Yep.
Almost. All right.
You're stressing out. And it takes a second. Then the lightning. What color is your lightning?
Or it's yellow.
Okay, the yellow lightning arcs from your fingertips and hits the box, conducts through it, goes into parts of the Drengir, pops a few potatoes, and seems to hit everything but the angry Play-Doh.
Oops.
Oh, now it's just mad. Good.
There's no smoke. That's not good. It means it's not gonna explode.
And Xena, your turn.
Yeah, I would like to close the box.
Okay. You close the box. And that brings us to the end of that round. But first up next, this initiative is we're back to Gleebek already with that 10 of diamonds.
We'll do another fun Gleebek reveal. So the way that the schematic is set up, my interpretation, and you can tell me whether or not I'm accurate, is that the lower cargo bay and the upper cargo bay are not two separate modules, they share a floor.
Yeah, it's basically one big room, but there's some like catwalks and stuff.
Right. And so Gleebek is gonna say,
Jonah's gonna get so mad at me again.
can you watch him Looney Tunes stab the lightsaber into the floor, and you notice that where he stabs it into the floor, there is this sort of jagged puzzle piece weld where it's very clear
He's done this before.
that this has previously been repaired. And he's in the same spot. But Gleebek is going to stand in the middle while he's cutting around the circle.
We have gone full Bugs Bunny, okay.
All right, what do you need me to roll? Or if I'm
know
burning
what?
the Benny, are you just going to give it to me?
I'm just going to give it to you with the Benny. Obviously, the weld's there. We all know that a weld will hold, but a weld is never as strong as the original material. So, yeah, that lightsaber goes through without too much. And you're just dropping it down to the lower cargo bay?
Right.
Okay, so basically you're cutting through the catwalk and... You know, I was since it's a catwalk, you wouldn't even need to spend a Benny. Actually, you could just do that through the like corrugated flooring.
Oh, okay.
Also, is there an airlock on the lower cargo bay as well?
There's the cargo doors, which the cargo doors open the entire side of the cargo bay.
Oh, so it's top and bottom.
It's basically it's a clamshell.
I was thinking about this wrong.
Would that have
Okay.
changed what you were doing?
Yes.
The bottom is where the weak spot is.
The bottom is where the two-door small opening would be what I would do.
Okay.
And so like there's the big opening, but there's like the two-door airlock.
Like those fancy rich house doors where you got like the giant door and then the two little doors inside of the
Right.
giant door. One of those. Okay, we'll go with
So
that.
then we can slide it into that and let it go out that way rather than having to
Yeah.
open the entire thing.
My caveat to that is going to be that is not a airlocked door. That is a
Okay.
door that will just open out. So you will still have to prevent yourself from being sucked out along with it. Just
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well,
But
and then
not
I mean
so much
like
that's gonna like just suck out everyone in here and
Right.
all the cargo.
and if there is a like non-total like opening, because then it's anybody that's on the above tier, right, has more
Oh yeah, yeah.
protection from and that's sort of the
Yep.
thought. And so I'm cutting myself and the box through to the next level down.
Okay.
And I'm going to yell up,
The small door's down here.
and he's just gonna like gesture at people to come down because all of this clearly made a lot of sense. Like this was definitely the best strategic thing to do.
Yeah,
For sure.
clearly.
And now the finger lightning mechanic has a lightsaber
Yeah.
Love
that was in a sheath that made a foomp noise.
And on that note, it's Vesper's turn.
It's like a lightsaber bargain sale.
Well, that changes literally everything I had in mind for my next turn. Let me.
Hey, that's what it's like being a GM. So
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
we're used
Hurry
to
up!
this.
Okay, so you are now
Or hurry down.
on the lower level with the box, trying to get the cargo doors open.
Well, I'm gonna have to get it over to the doors first, and it's bigger than this, so it's gonna be tough.
Is there, Seacow, is there like a control panel near me?
Probably, yeah. You guys were relatively close to one of the doors anyway, so yeah.
Well, been picking on me this whole time. I'm gonna do something. Alright,
Seize your power.
so, can I make it to the control panel and still have time to do an action?
Oh yeah, that'd be a move action. Anywhere you go in this room would just be your move.
Okay, so I'm gonna run over to the control panel, hopefully, and look for basically the like door to the lower cargo bay, like the open. And as I'm running over there, I'm gonna say, "Everybody, grab onto something!" And I'm gonna make an electronics check to see if I can get that door open and just suck it out.
Give me that electronics check.
That's a 5.
Nice. All right. You run over and slap the panel, knowing exactly what you're doing, as you know that, oh, it's going to hit this, and it's going to automatically ask you for a "are you sure" second button press, and your finger's basically there before it's even asking you. As instantly, the room is deafened with that particular sound of the vacuum of space sucking out all of the atmosphere, every slight loose piece of something. Everybody, give me an agility check.
Does danger sense come into play here?
Yeah, I'll give you your danger sense bonus. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to get to.
Who's got it?
Oh, whew.
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Xena and actually everybody except for Gleebek, give yourself a +2 bonus, which would stack with your +2.
Oh, so Chris can't fail.
So yeah, you guys are up top. Basically, there's more railings and stuff in the way, so more opportunities to catch on to something.
Jeez.
Sounds good to me. Holy shit!
Okay.
That's a canon word in Star Wars.
Yeah. Gleebek, as the door opens, you manage to just grab a hold of something real quick as the box is getting sucked out into the vacuum of space. Vesper, you knew it was coming, so you're able to just kind of grab on near the door. Xena, it's a little dicey, but you manage to just catch the railing. Halen, however, like this is an everyday occurrence for you. How do you ball your way through this? What do you do that just makes this look as effortless as getting 5 raises on this?
Don't even know. Hold on. Let me look at this shit.
I feel like you just do like the smooth criminal lean. Your feet don't even leave the ground.
Yes, we're going with that.
Nice.
We're going with that.
Yeah. Yep, just, no, that corrugated flooring, yeah, you just hook your, the heel of your boot on one little piece of it, leaning forward a little bit as everybody else is hanging on, making faces, and you're just no big. And I assume then close the door after it's sucked out?
Yeah, as soon as it gets sucked out, I close it.
Okay. There's probably going to be some atmospheric readings, since you had some open doors in here, it vented a lot of the atmosphere in the ship, and, well, that could get interesting. But the atmosphere inside is still breathable, and you have 1 less Drengir.
That's a plus.
A little warning next time would be nice, but
They told us to hold on to something.
I'm.
good job.
You're welcome. How about that? How about, hey, Mr. Jedi person whose name I can't bother to learn, thanks for saving us from the flesh-eating monster. Really appreciate you coming in clutch there. I may not agree with your religion, but I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for you. So, hats off to you, pal.
I have a blaster and a flamethrower. Stop talking.
Oh my god, man.
Why is
She
the pacifist keep
speaks.
getting all of the assault weapons?
What are you guys doing up there?
We're having a moment. Would you like to join us?
So there was a bunch of stuff in where the potatoes this may really bad. That it would be bad if we lost it. Is any of it still up there?
I look around.
Nah,
What-
no,
what-
it's all gone.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what was in there? That's not very specific. You said potatoes. There are no potatoes here.
I can tell Jonna that sorry we lost pretty much your entire cargo load.
You have fun with that.
But we're not dead, so that's a plus.
But that particular box belonged to somebody. I can't remember his name, but he was not a very happy person.
Why we can't have nice things?
I am
You still have his sleeve, so that's good. We're missing the helmet there.
at this point. I still don't know where the hell we're going. So
Did
I'm
you
actually
steal from a Mandalorian? It's fine. I'm keeping it.
While they're having that conversation, I walk back to the bridge, and I'm gonna look at the nav to kind of see where we are in space.
Given that you had a Gleebek just kind of randomly punched into hyperspace with the first available trajectory they could pull to escape the Merc ship trying to shoot you down. Nal Hutta is, I believe, the most direct path. Probably would have been where you were going unless you had other ideas there, Gleebek.
Well, I'm sure that
I went
Jana...
with one of our pre-programmed things because it's faster. And as to while Jana occasionally will strategically transfer equipment to alternate locations, stealing in its traditional sense is wrong, and that is something that we generally don't do. Now, it's only stealing if you get caught, and if we don't have it to put it back because we have to make the copies of it, then that's also going to be a problem. Which we'll solve it. That's just sort of what happens.
All right. My little blue friend, I have a very important question.
Sure.
Have you stolen anything from the huts?
Well, Jana is a hut. So no, I would never.
I'm aware.
Jana.
I mean, like
He's got a
the
point.
criminally connected huts, not like every single hut species.
He just described criminal activity. What do you mean? You gotta. He takes things very literally. You gotta.
My point is, if we're going to touch down on Nal Hutta, I would rather know about any enemies we might possibly have on the planet.
I would
Mostly,
assume
I don't have
everyone.
enemies.
Okay.
People usually read this to me, or they ignore me. Or like, Master, he would used to say things that were like really encouraging, right?
I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the concept of anyone being able to ignore you.
I mean, couldn't we just put him in a backpack?
That's a great option. Like one with the closes that has several, pouches that can...
Yeah.
Soundproof would be good,
Do you
actually.
think the Mortator will still fit?
Why? Also, that's another question. Why does it seem like every Goran person on this side of the Outer Rim has a lightsaber? When did that happen?
That's my business.
I don't know what you're
Basically,
talking
everybody
about.
I know has one.
Oh, come on. Don't try and hide it, Red Hood. We know.
Wait, what?
Gotta be quicker on the uptake, Jedi. You'll catch up eventually.
I'm gonna go find a backpack. So I'm gonna walk out and go look for a bag.
I'm gonna go with her because I don't want to be left with the Jedi.
As the Jedi is evidently left with Gleebek.
Before the end of this, me and Halem are gonna be friends. I'm gonna make it happen.
It's gonna be
That is
so
my
awesome.
whole quest.
Yeah.
So awesome.
All things in time. But you've got a couple hours of maintenance you need to do to make this thing hyperspace safe. But other than that, you're more or less free and safe at the moment to collect yourselves and then get back on the way to Nal Hutta, unless you were planning on sitting around having any campfire chats on the slightly thin atmosphere of the ship deck.
My thought was we
Was
should
that
probably
Flip?
touch down on Nal Hutta to do the repairs and then go somewhere that's not Nal Hutta as soon as possible.
Yeah, but a little bit of work to get it, or to get safely to Nal Hutta. There was that half-completed repairs or maintenance that Gleebek did, and per his own admission, he took this part out because it seemed like it wasn't important, and so it'll probably run better without it.
The ship goes a lot faster, I can tell.
It did go faster, it had a harder time starting again once it stopped.
That's fine.
You enter into Nal Hutta space.
Do you guys sleep?
Do you not?
Well, so
It's a yes or no question.
it wasn't that long ago that I learned that when people sleep, they like to have a space that other people aren't in to do that sleeping. And now that the cargo bay is mostly empty, that's a much easier problem to solve than it was a little while ago, because we don't have a space for everybody,
Where did you come from?
I don't know. I was in the laboratory with the master until the Jedi broke in, and then that got really confusing. And now I have
Gleebek
one
is
of their
cut off
lightsabers.
by the communications. You are being hailed. State your business, more or less, in the slightly more business-savvy way. Essentially, what are you here for? Where are you trying to land? And do you have anything to declare on board?
We're touching down for repairs. We should just be in and out. And I kind of like mute the intercom real quick, and I look at Gleebek and I say, in 20 words or less, tell me if there's anything on board that I need to tell them about.
No.
Nothing to declare. And I mute it again. You better not be hiding anything.
I mean, most of it's in space now.
Fair.
Just here for repair your fuel. You're clear to land on pad 3. And you land.
That was
Now,
pretty good.
that
Nothing
is
fell
not-
off this time.
Yes.
Not much of a step up from Nar Shaddaa, but it's wealthier and slightly cleaner.
Very low bar.
Exit ramp lowers as you presumably all head off of the ship.
Yes.
No.
I'm not going to travel too far from the ship.
Okay.
I'm mainly just trying to...
Are y'all
Get the
sticking
ship.
together, going separate ways? You are currently just a bunch of strangers with technically no reason to stay together.
I'm going to suggest a pairing system, as there is still the we're still on Nal Hutta, which is not friendly territory, and we have at least pissed off one person today. One person
You
with a
switch to me
ship.
for a second.
Oh, good lord.
Yes.
All right, and so he leads everybody down the hall to Gleebek's room / the maintenance area.
Alright, so we gotta figure out what parts I need you to go find so that we can make the ship fly in hyperspace again. Because wherever we're gonna go, if we're having to go there at sublight, it's gonna take longer than I really want to take. And I would like it very much if I could be someplace where the sun's not just like always hanging over my head like it's about to fall down. And so if we're not gonna be underground, I would like to be in space. So I'll just need a couple minutes. I'm gonna give you the shopping list and then we're gonna figure all this out, okay?
Fair enough.
Shopping list implies that we have
When
money
I'm ready
to
for your
buy
opinion, I will
things.
tell you what it is supposed to be.
I
Now.
will pick you up and toss you across the room.
Can
You're a
we,
very angry
all of
half-
us, for 5 seconds, just make an attempt to work
Oh,
together?
yeah. Absolutely.
Might help
Hey,
us survive.
let us work through this, all right? No one's talking to you.
Alright, so let's see. That's burned out. That's burned out. Oh, this isn't burned out. That's exciting. Those are really expensive.
At a glance, it's going to take you at least a day or two to get this thing repaired properly. Some of what you have is going to be able to come out from the standard maintenance. The engine hit a little bit of an overload, and that's where you're really going to need to go find some pieces. Mostly cooling arrays, so the engine doesn't overheat and blow up in space.
That's why there was an inhibitor on it. Now it makes sense. Alright, so while we're working on the entire list, it's probably gonna be in the best interest of everybody that we stay here. Like the nice lady who also looks like she may not be a nice lady all the time, like probably isn't gonna stand out very much out here. But like you two guys both like it's not personal. And I don't want you to hear this as a criticism or anything, but like you both smell like jaybirds. And so like you're not gonna get that far from the ship before people start to like pay really close attention to who you are. And until we have a way to get out of here really fast, that's like super dangerous. And so I just need like a day and maybe a little bit of help. And yeah, and we'll get out of here and it's gonna be fine. Where were you guys going anyway?
I was seeking my next purpose, and it seems like I might have found it. Something tells me that this Drengir thing isn't going to be over anytime soon, and while I'm here, I might as well do something about it.
How positively droll.
I'm begging you to say one positive thing.
I told you good job earlier.
One of these days, I'm going to break through that rough exterior of yours, and yours going to be glorious.
I did not miss this.
Did you know that it's okay to say that you have feelings?
Oh, I have feelings. I have lots of feelings.
Oh, I was just checking, because for a really long time I didn't know that, like, because I wasn't allowed to. But this is better. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my droid, and we're gonna work on this.
So we just had to stay on this ship and bond.
I mean, you can wander around if you want
I'm
to,
going-
but at that point, you're not my responsibility.
I'm going to go find things to help fix the ship. Because I can also fix things. I'm quite good at it.
So who's planning on getting off the ship?
If we need like parts, I can go look for some.
Are there black markets on Nal Hutta?
I feel like that.
Actually,
is
wait, no.
part of Nal
Are there
Hutta.
markets on Nal Hutta?
Yeah,
Okay.
markets.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I
like,
was about to say. Yeah.
So you're exiting the ship.
I pull a hood over my head.
You lower the ramp and head off ship, waiting as if having just been standing there all day, prepared for your arrival, is a Grudo. You're ahead of schedule.
It got complicated. Arthur, we left the pilot in Nar Shaddaa, and I have no friends.
and then he's going to use all of your names that have been given, and just like absolutely no like preparation for like hide identity, any of that kind of stuff. So like anybody whose name he has, and anybody whose name he doesn't.
This person won't give the name, and I don't know if it's like, you know, because of this or because of that, or
Chekos wasn't expecting you for another 3 or 4 days.
I'm sorry, who?
Cheska,
yeah, I took this out because I thought it wasn't important, and it made the ship go a lot faster. But now the ship won't take off.
Where-
To the
is the ship's captain?
oh, isn't that?
Do you have the goods for Cheska or not? Was that complicated at least?
That's the one that we hid with the potatoes, right?
Do you have the goods or not?
It's the food crate, right? That's the one that you need.
We ended up
He
having.
looks at Xena. I don't know who's in charge, but you at least look like you know your way around. I don't care what the situation is. Whoever has the cargo, get it to Cheska. Later today, ask for Boshto, that's me, and we'll set up the exchange. Welcome to Nal Hutta. And with that, he walks off.
Gleebek, the last time that I asked you where we were going, you seemed to give the impression that you had no specific destination, but by what that gentleman just told us, it seems like you were expected. So you can imagine my confusion.
We're not expected for a couple of days.
This is the kind of information that you might share when involving other people.
Like a name?
No, you don't have that.
Like when I ask if there's anything to declare? Like when I've asked anything over this past day.
Well, some of that isn't my job. So, like a lot of those things, Jana always figures that it's better if I don't know.
I need you to take some personal responsibility.
I want to spend a Benny.
Oh no.
You might as well blow them. You're getting 3 more at the next session.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I wanted to use it. I am going to use a Benny because through the Force, Halem hears a call and he reaches out for it. And all of a sudden, what comes running out is a couple-year-old charhound. It's a dog. What's the technical term for it? I have Beast Friend. And
So you reach out through the Force, and one of these strays from the back alleys of Nal Hutta makes its way out to you, surprisingly friendly.
What is that?
It's a dog.
It's a charhound. And he's a good boy, aren't you, boy?
What do they
girl.
tend to eat?
We'll get her some food.
And next time, you evidently have a deal with somebody that you know nothing about, with a Gruda that you know nothing about cargo that you may or may not still have. and a captain that may or may not still be back on Nar Shaddaa, who evidently had all the information about this deal.
In my defense, they did not supply any of this information to me because I am considered a security risk.
Wow. Who could have figured?
That is the worst in defense ever. But and with that, that draws this session of Better Than a Stick to a close.